Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. How you doing, baby?
Good, how are you?
Very good. It's a weekend. How could you be anything but awesome? A new study has determined that middle-aged and older Americans have a 90% higher risk of having high blood pressure. My question is, what is middle-aged? Would that be us?
That would be us.
And this thing is very accurate because we both have high blood pressure. So one study I have to believe. Another thing that's interesting, people at a supermarket in Ireland got a big surprise when a bull got loose inside the supermarket.
How on earth would a bull get in there?
According to security cameras, they captured a huge animal running wild inside the store, even chasing one person down the aisle. I'm not sure if it was something going on outside and the thing broke loose and just decided to go in there for cover. I have no clue. All I know is that would be awful. I've heard him talk about a bull in a china shop before, but I've never heard anything about a bull in a grocery store. So now we know what that looks like.
Crazy.
We've got some special things going on this weekend. We'll tell you all about it in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I'm going to tell you about the whole darn weekend. On Saturday, Abused Women and Children's Awareness Day, Belmont Stakes Day, Corn on the Cob Day, International Young Eagles Day, Missing Mutts Awareness Day, National Cotton Candy Day, National Making Life Beautiful Day, National Roses Wine Day, I don't know what that means, Queen's Official Birthday, World Bike Naked Day, yeah, don't do that, and World Gin Day. That's all on Saturday. Sunday, June the 12th, is Children's Sunday, Crowded Nest Awareness Day, Loving Day, Multicultural American Child Day, National Jerky Day. Oh, I'm celebrating. National Peanut Butter Cookie Day, Race Unity Day, Superman Day, and World Against Child Labor Day.
Wow.
I can get down with that while I'm eating my jerky.
Have you ever seen those naked bike rides?
No, have you?
I mean, like online? You've
No.
not seen videos? Oh my gosh, it's disgusting.
I'll bet it is.
I don't care how fit you are. You shouldn't be riding a bicycle naked.
All right, we got some fun stuff on the John and Heidi Show Weekend Edition. Thanks for listening.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond Lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A hairdresser in India uses a unique tool of the trade, a gas lighter.
Oh, I've seen that. I've watched
Neelish
that online.
Parekh doesn't use scissors, but instead uses a flame to
Yeah.
singe people's hair into style. The innovations did not start with Parekh either, however, but his father. He says, my father started using fire to trim hair. He used to cut hair by torching the ends with a lighted candle. Parekh said, he decided to use a gas lighter because hot wax from the candle could burn a customer's scalp. So they
not to mention the fire.
They burn your hair off. Now, I can
It's
tell
fascinating to watch. I mean,
can
he's
tell you
really
about
fast at it too, and it actually looks pretty cute.
a scenario where I burned the hair off of my arm, singed it on a little fire that we had, and it did not smell good.
No,
burnt
hair
stinks
Can you
a lot.
imagine what that salon smells
I
like?
don't even want to think about it. All I know is, it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. A robber is found sleeping at the scene of the crime, taking sleeping pills that he tried to steal. We've talked about a couple of different robbers that have fallen asleep on the job.
This happens all the time.
But this one here was a robber that fell asleep after taking sleeping tablets to calm his nerves during a raid on a hospital pharmacy. The robber/raider took 3 tablets from a haul of medication that he had just stolen. He fell asleep and was later arrested by police. The unidentified thief managed to slip into the pharmacy through the cooling system, which was undergoing maintenance. The man was found by hospital employees who then alerted the police. So the brainiac went in and thought, hey, I'm going to steal all this stuff. While I'm in here, I'm going to just try to calm my nerves by gobbling up a whole bunch of sleeping pills.
Wow.
The sleeping
Not
pills,
very smart.
apparently they worked because that's what happened. Coming up, we've got your moment of duh. Kids, by the way, this is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Every once in a while, our individual that is our moment of duh is not a person, but it is a business like this one. It's Subway Restaurants. They recently held an essay contest for school children. They offered athletic equipment as the grand prize. That's really a cool idea.
Okay.
That's neat. Good job, Subway. But maybe next time you want to spell check. Academic materials were not part of the winnings, which is a good thing because the academic materials that were sent from the marketing department of Subway had some spelling errors. In the advertisement for the contest, there were two. One was a misspelling of the word basket, and even more disturbing was the misspelling of the word united in United States. So you'd think somebody would have caught that. But I got to say, I've had spelling errors of my own in our marketing. So
Yeah.
there's
It's just a typo. It's easy for those things to slip
There's no
by.
spell check in Photoshop. I had somebody call and say, who does your advertising?
But with a company that big, you think that they would have somebody on staff that is their only job.
Well, not their
like
only
to make
job, but
sure that
yeah.
the marketing looks good.
And, you know, a bunch of I wouldn't think one person that's their only job, but a bunch of people to look at everything that goes out would make more sense. But either way, that's your moment of duh. Your scoop of the day is on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. A new study finds that using a standing desk might actually not be as healthy as using a standard sitting desk. Well, now you tell me. Heidi's standing right now. Good news. I'm sitting on a tall stool, so I outsmarted them both. They say that it's just as healthy, maybe even potentially more healthy to be sitting rather than what
I
you're
don't
doing.
think so.
50 years after Shanghai, China woman, 50 years after a Shanghai, China woman couldn't pay to treat her young child, her son returned to settle the hospital bill with interest. Oh, we talked about this the other day.
Yes,
so
we did.
some brothers that were at the children's hospital 50 years ago, they went in and paid the invoice and interest, $1,002 is what it was. That's really neat. 5 young Australians have broken the record for binge-watching TV. Stared at a screen for 92 straight hours. 4 men and women were allowed a 5-minute break per hour to go stretch their legs and, answer the call of nature, if you will. But 5 Austrians, I think I said Australians last time, but it's Austrians as I look at it closely, just broke that record. Would you like to break that record, Heidi? Binge-watching TV?
No.
Me neither. A former state executive director of the ACLU has resigned because her own daughters were frightened when transgendered men entered the women's restroom. The ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, has been a champion of transgendered bathroom rights, but the former director of the Georgia ACLU chapter, Maya Dillard Smith, resigned after her daughter's experience in a public restroom. Maya said she had taken her elementary school-aged daughters to a women's restroom when 3 transgendered young adults, over 6 feet tall with deep voices, entered. Smith wrote in a statement, she says, "My children were visibly frightened and concerned about their safety. I have a link, by the way, on our Facebook page, so you can go there and chime in. I would love to hear your comments on this." I don't want to hear yours, by the way, Heidi.
Oh, I have comments.
She's biting her lip over here. She does have comments, but let the people say what they want to say. And then, Heidi, I give you my permission to go on the page, and you can chime in there as well. How's that sound?
No, you don't want my opinion?
No,
You're not gonna
I
give-
want it, but I want it where it belongs. At facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Domino's Australia has unveiled the world's first commercial autonomous delivery vehicle. What that means, it's not fictional marketing. It's a bona fide robot that can do everything from navigate fences to talk to customers.
Whatever. Oh, my gosh.
Brisbane, Australia is the testing grounds for this cutting-edge delivery system. So Domino's Australia, They no longer need delivery
You know,
drivers.
we're not going to need people for anything.
We are,
at all
well,
anymore.
I understand that, but I'm not trying to. I'll just
Can't
play
even deliver pizzas now.
I'll play the devil's advocate on this, Heidi. If there are people that are complaining about not making enough money doing these jobs that they don't want to do, and you go, well, I could always just get a robot to do it. Don't be surprised if they just get a robot to do it. All right. Most Americans would rather have a president who believes in God than one who doesn't. A study
Yeah, I
conducted
agree
by
with that.
Pew Research Center found Americans ranked atheism as the most negative trait that could be displayed by a presidential candidate who plans to seek the White House in 2016. In fact, Americans said cheating, pot smoking, and sexual orientation have far less impact on their vote for the president than their belief in God.
I actually agree with that.
I do too, and I think that's interesting because we are one nation under God. We are a country that was founded on the biblical principles. Whether you are a Christian or not, you need to understand a lot of the laws that we obey are laws that came directly from the Bible. That's where they stem from. Now they may have been adopted for our country and tweaked a little bit. It is our system of laws are based on that, so it's interesting. And finally, leave it to the Spanish researchers to discover that caffeine and glucose found in those long-time office favorites of coffee and donuts actually make you smarter, Heidi. Researchers in Barcelona at the university discovered the caffeine-glucose combo boosts your brain in terms of attention and memory. Do you feel smarter now?
You know, we just read a story the other day that
Yeah.
the mice that were fed sugar and glucose
Yeah.
were stupid
Yeah.
and they couldn't get their way through the maze.
But those weren't Spanish mice. I believe those were French mice. I think that was a French study. So if you're a Spanish mouse,
I just think we should quit reading about these
Brain
studies because
pow-
they all contradict each other. Every single
wh-
one of them.
That's why I like to read the studies, to let people, you know
it's
what?
ridiculous.
We'll read the story. You choose how to believe it. We've got your second scoop on the way.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your second scoop of the day. That's one of the things I love about our weekend program. We get to do a second scoop. 'Cause I always have stuff that I don't have room for, so I sweep it into this little bin that I call the second scoop
That's
bin.
fine, but let's do this one a shorter one.
All right, here it is. What freaks you out? Snakes? Clowns? Spiders? Whatever it is, just admit that it freaks you out. Researchers at the University of California, Los Angeles discovered that trying to talk yourself out of the fear doesn't help you get over the fear. They say just admit that you're afraid of it and move on. Our daughter is afraid of spiders. And for whatever reason, it's like we let a spider bomb off in our house. Last night I got to kill 3
it's
spiders.
because we've been keeping that door open to the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody, in a rage, kicked the screen off of the door
I
and
didn't
threw
kick
it
I
out
just-
into the backyard.
I pushed it off. I asked you guys like 100 times to leave that screen open. Leave it alone. We've got a dog that is a special needs dog. And when you open the sliding door, she would smash into that screen door. And I don't know if you guys are just cruel, mean people and think that's funny. But I thought it was terrible. I was like, leave the screen door open.
So anyway, that's why they're coming inside,
So
because that's been open.
After
So-
my baby puppy dog smacked her head into it one too many times, I just removed the screen gently and
Yeah, you did.
tossed it gingerly into the backyard. Does it sound better when I say gingerly? Hey, if you're looking to stash some cash at your home, do not hide it somewhere obvious like under a mattress or in a dresser drawer. It says if you want to put it someplace no sticky fingered person will think. AOL asked their readers, where would you put it? They said in a tampon box, in a brassiere, in a toilet paper roll, or in a fake drain. Apparently there's a way to do that. In a hamper, in an old purse, in a fake plant, in a can, in a tax file that says taxes 2019 or whatever. Maybe not that, because you'd be like in the future then, 2009. Anyway, inside a picture frame, in a vacuum, in between cement bags, in an old winter coat, inside a wooden door, inside a curtain rod, and even under the litter box. So, would-be robbers, start looking in all those places now. I think we just get it. Hey, computers may be necessities, but they're not exactly beloved. In an online survey by the University of Maryland, 20% of respondents said they'd gotten so angry at a computer that they crashed it by throwing it on the floor.
Good Lord.
I've never done that. I did it with a screen, but not with a computer. Others admitted to cursing at their computer, smashing it, and somebody even microwaved their laptop. How mad would you have to be to do that?
Because then you're ruining your laptop and your microwave.
One man said he got so mad that he took his laptop and put it in a deep fat fryer. And we know of at least 3 men, because they've been documented on the old interweb, at least 3 men who got so upset with their computers that they shot them with a gun. Some people might need to just take a chill pill. I'm just saying. And we're gonna, I'm just saying. That's a bit much. In France, there's a truck driver there that was unloading a Ferrari at a dealership when a man in a suit came up and said he was a salesman there and offered to drive it onto the lot. The delivery man gave him the keys. He took the Ferrari, and he didn't work there. He just left. He stole. But you know what? A little bit of confidence will take you a long way.
It does. It
that guy,
absolutely does.
Holy cow. An overworked policeman in Japan stabbed himself in the stomach so he could get some time off. What?
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
The truth came out when detectives launched a murder investigation, but they couldn't find any suspects matching the description. Finally, the 44-year-old admitted that he stabbed himself because he was worn out by so much overtime and so many weekends. And he said, I finally just stabbed myself so I could take a break.
Where was this?
That was in Japan.
They couldn't find anybody matching the description.
What did he look
what
like?
kind of a description did he
I don't know. He was
He had dark hair,
6 feet tall,
straight dark hair, darker skin like mine.
Yes. I don't know. I'm trying to think
It's
of
not
what.
like that blue eyes, blonde hair.
They do. There's some people there that do. They're people from, it's a melting pot now, like we are.
I know, but I mean, if he wanted it to blend, he should have just given, well,
he looked
he
kind of
was
like
Japanese.
He looked kind of like me. As a matter of fact, it was me. We're done with this investigation. Let's move on to our final strange law. In Wilbur, Washington, it's illegal to ride an ugly horse. I think it's funny. 2 things.
That
First
is
of all,
fantastic.
who gets to decide if the horse is ugly? That horse is ugly. Here's a ticket. But I also think it's just interesting that it's in Wilbur, Washington. For those of you who like
yeah,
Mr. Ed, Wilbur. I just thought that was kind of fun. Anyway, that is your second scoop on the weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds got better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You're not supposed to make direct eye contact with a monkey at the zoo for any longer than 4 seconds. If you do that, they could actually get mad and throw something at you, and you don't want to know what they'll throw at you. Just something they happen to have handy. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Elephants have the largest brain in the animal kingdom. Elephants do.
I love elephants.
I know you love elephants. Fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
Every step a giraffe takes is 15 feet in length. So their stride is 15 feet. That's long.
That's cool.
Our son's
That's
stride
about
is
like our
about that.
son.
Yeah. He's 6'3", and when you walk with him, he's walking at a slow pace, and I'm running next to him to keep up. I'm like, could you please slow down? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A group of tigers is called a what?
I don't know.
Lions are a pride. A group of tigers are called a streak. It is a streak of tigers.
Oh.
Yeah. And sticking with the zoo, in the wild, zebras live about 20 to 30 years, but at a zoo, they live to be about 40 years old. So it's good for zebras to be in the zoo, apparently.
There you go.
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Howler monkeys are the noisiest land animals. Howler monkeys can be heard over 2 miles away.
I see.
I kind of want a howler monkey now. Couple of fun facts for you on this weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Weekend Edition, the unhealthiest drinks in America. What do you think is the unhealthiest drink in America?
Probably soda.
All right, let's take a look. Many Americans have a drinking problem, but not the kind you're thinking
alcohol.
of. No. The FDA says the average American takes a bulk of our daily calories through drinks that we have throughout the day. To give you a better idea of what can hinder your health and fitness and weight loss goals, here's a list of the unhealthiest drinks in America. So, ladies and gentlemen, sip responsibly. Worst healthy drink is Glasow vitamin water. Any flavor. The 20-ounce bottles have 130 calories. So they call it a healthy drink.
Jeez, yeah, and you think you're getting water.
Yeah,
Usually...
it's vitamin water, but they've got a bunch of calories. There's 33 grams of sugar. Vitamins and water sound like it's good for you, but that particular kind, it's not really a healthy
Interesting.
drink. The worst juice imposters is a thing called Arizona Kiwi Strawberry. I've had that. That's good. It's a tall can.
Is good.
It's a tall can, 23.5 ounces, 360 calories.
Whoa.
I think I gained a pound reading that story. The worst smoothie is from Jamba Juice, the peanut butter mood powder.
You think?
Well, it's a smoothie, 30 ounce, 1,170 calories.
Whoa!
That's not the worst. The worst summer cocktail is a pina colada.
Yeah, and you love those.
I wouldn't say I love them. We got married in Jamaica, and that's one of the things that they had that I'm not much of a drinker, but I was like, that tastes good.
A ton of those.
So
Holy cow.
I was so sick of. I don't think I've had maybe 2 pina coladas in the last 16 years because I had too many that day. Not that day, but during our week. Yeah, I was like, I'm kind of sick of pina coladas. Well, 625 calories in one of those, and the unhealthiest drink in America doesn't even sound healthy, and I don't think it even sounds good. It is from Baskin Robbins, the large Heath Bar Shake. That doesn't sound good to me. It's got the ingredients on here, and it sounds like too much. I like Heath, but this just sounds like too much. 2,310 calories in a 32-ounce drink.
Good Lord.
That gives it the title of the unhealthiest drink in America, right here on the John and Heidi Show.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
if I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
Well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
This story, when I read this, I was laughing, and Heidi asked what I was laughing about, and I said, I'll wait to tell you on the air, because I didn't want to tell you about this ahead of time, because I just think I want to hear your response when everybody else hears it. Paul McCuthrie of London was attending a charity auction, and he was playing around with a large foam rubber finger that was given to him, like, the number one.
Yeah.
He had one of those. He was goofing around and bonking his friend with it and dinking around with this thing. What he didn't realize is, while he was doing this with this big rubber hand, the auctioneer was calling on him, and he was bidding. And guess what he bought?
Oh, no.
A $30,000 diving trip to go 3 miles down to see the Titanic wreck. And he had to mortgage his house to pay for this because it's a binding agreement.
No.
So he had to mortgage his house. Fortunately, he says, I am looking forward to the trip. By the way, on a side note, Paul McCuthrie of London is a financial advisor.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine? Because we've been at
That would
auctions.
be an amazing trip.
We've been at auctions.
I love that trip.
And when I talk, I use my hands, and that's something I put my hands in my pockets. I'm like, I don't want to end up buying
I
something.
don't even
there.
take you to auctions.
I know. It's a bad idea.
It's a
Because half
very
the time
bad
I'm like, we
idea.
should get that. That's a good idea. All right. That's going to do it. No, I guess we got more. What am I talking about? Thanks for listening. We got more on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Be sure to get your vitamin D. It's great for back pain, and it'll help you live longer. So vitamin D, like you find in that vitamin D milk and you find it in other places, Dr. Stuart Levitt says that it's really good for you. He says when sufficient vitamin D supplements were provided, pain either vanished or at least was significantly reduced. So that's really good. Investigators recommended that most children and adults get at least 1,000 IUs daily of vitamin D. What's an IU?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, back pain sufferers should get 2,000 IUs daily, far higher than the government's recommendation of only 600 IUs. So there you go. And that's not all. A new study found people with loads of vitamin D in their bloodstreams tend to live longer, too. The vitamin D, made naturally by exposure to sunshine or found in dairy products and fatty fish like salmon, help to absorb calcium for bone health and offer protection from cancer and peripheral artery disease and tuberculosis. Austrian researchers say their study proves, for the first real proof of vitamin D, that it affects your life expectancy. So, good stuff. Get some vitamin D. Spend some time in the sun. That sounds like fun. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Earlier in the program, we talked about Subway making a little bit of an error and having some spelling errors on a national contest that they were doing. Well, if you were looking for a job, you might want to do a little spell check on your resume. Says here, spelling actually counts, and that's one place where it really counts because you're trying to make a good first impression, right? So make sure that it's spelled correctly. A typo or two on a resume could actually keep you among the ranks of the unemployed. 3 out of 4 executives surveyed say a typo on a resume would disqualify the applicant from getting an interview. The poll was done on behalf of the staffing firm Account Temps. Max Meshmer, chairman of Account Temps and author of Job Hunting for Dummies, says a potential boss might assume that if you make mistakes on your own resume, that you would make those same kind of mistakes while he's paying you or she's paying you. He recalls one applicant who wrote, "Hope to hear from you shortly," or hope to hear from you shorty, rather, instead of shortly. And another one who addressed the letter to Dear Sir or Madman instead of Madam. Dear Sir or Madman. You know, around here, we'd probably bring that person in.
That's probably the person we would hire.
Well, your resume really made you stand out amongst all these other professionals. We think that you are the man or woman for the job. Do you think that that's important to have the proper spelling?
Sure.
I think it is important. So, again, if you're going to be, especially if you're filling something out like with that company's name, make sure you get that kind of stuff right. You got some good news coming your way. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I got some good news here, Heidi. Chris Cook has been, he just completed a marathon, which is awesome for anybody. If you've ever run in a marathon, congrats to you. But why did Chris Cook make the news? Well, finishing the 26.2 grueling mile marathon is impressive for anybody, but it's maybe even a little more impressive when you're born without arms or legs.
Oh, wow.
37-year-old Chris Cook is a motivational speaker. I've seen him online. I've never met him in person. Seen him online, and the guy is awesome. I mean, awesome. He used a longboard similar to a skateboard to successfully get to the finish line of the Scotiabank Calgary Marathon in Canada about a week ago. He posted, "I only used my right leg, which has a partially developed foot." Cook has completed in shorter distance races ranging from 5Ks to half marathons, but this was his longest race to date.
That's
and
crazy.
I happen to have a link on our Facebook page because it is so inspiring. You need to go check it out. And this is something that is very shareable. You should share this. I don't very often say that, do I?
No.
but you should share this because it is so inspiring. It might inspire somebody else.
It really is. I mean, I complain if I have to walk from a faraway parking spot to get to the store.
Well, just the other day we were pulling in at the radio station and we had to park we had people visiting and everybody took all the good spots. We're like, we got to park out here in the building.
Jeez.
I said,
no spots.
think we're going to just circle the block until someone leaves. Anyway, we made it. I want to make sure we give you an update. We made it all the way in, which is good. But this guy, Chris Cook.
Good for him.
Cook is Koch if you're trying to find him. But again, like I said, I made it really easy. It's on our Facebook page, and you can click the link there at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Weekend Edition.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Bonus break brought to you by RadioSavings.com. We told you a little bit about those guys the other day. It's a great place to go if you'd like to save money. And if you know somebody that is a firearms person, they like to shoot guns, this is the great month for them because, first of all, it's Father's Day, so that's why we're working with Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. It's a $15,000 lifetime membership, which if you go online and read, there's over 50 different courses you can take. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It is such a cool thing. We have a friend.
We got a membership, and I can't wait to go.
We have a friend that's been there over and over and over. He's a lifetime member, and he was the one that told us about it. So we have a membership now, and we're working with them to help you get a membership. And it would be really cool if you get one and you say, hey, let's coordinate so we can all go there together. How would you like to go shooting guns with Heidi? It's fun. Let me tell you. She's a good shot. She's a very good shot. We go to the local range here and we shoot all the time, and we put our targets out, and I bring mine back. I'm like, look, I hit it twice, and Heidi brings hers back, and it's just a tiny little piece of paper with a bunch of holes in it.
Not quite.
It's pretty much what it is. Anyway, if you'd like to know more, it's a Post-it note. What do you got there? It's my target. What? Come on. Why is there a picture of me on that? Anyway, if you'd like to know more and if you'd like to purchase, you don't buy it right on the website. You go on and look at it, and then you actually reach out. So it'll make you feel a whole lot better. Talk to somebody, get all the details at RadioSavings.com. You can bet 23-year-old Jason Householder and 21-year-old John Stockholm of Ohio will think twice about assaulting any more women. The two lame brains were convicted of throwing bottles at women in a car.
Oh, my God.
They get to pay the ultimate price. The county municipal judge, David Holsetter, sentenced the two to parade through the center of their hometown dressed as women, complete with dresses, wigs, and makeup. And they have the option of spending 60 days in jail, but both decided to go for the women's clothing instead. They also each got a $250 fine. That's a little better. The judge is becoming famous for unusual sentences like this, and he imposes them because of overcrowding in the jail. He's like, you know what? You can go to jail for 60 days, or dress like a woman and walk up and down the streets with a sign saying, I'm a knucklehead that likes to pick on women. 60 days, or do that once? Well, I guess I'll do that once. 42-year-old David Howard Eisberg of Boulder, Colorado, walked into a Starbucks wearing a distinctive yellow glove and a red backpack and wire rim glasses, and then he robbed the place.
Okay.
That's the very same getup that he had on when he walked into the same Starbucks for a cup of coffee 2 days later. The employees did remember him, and they told detectives that were in there at the time
This
interviewing.
is the guy.
They said, can you describe him? And they're like, yeah,
he's right
right behind you. That's him. Who walks around wearing yellow gloves? And why would you wear the same thing back when you go to rob? Anyway, that's going to do it for our bonus break. I'm done. Bonus break brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Go check it out today. See if you can be a big saver at RadioSavings.com.